and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to teach you how to make this cute little ghost. So, let's get started. You will need a worsted weights white yarn. This is from Big Twist, and it's just in the color white. You will need crochet thread, and this is the Aunt Lydia's crochet thread, the Fashion 3, in black to embroider the smile on the little guy. And then you will also need it in pink if you want to put the blush on. You'll also need scissors, a darning needle, a 2.75 millimeter hook, and a stitch marker. And actually you could probably use 2 if you wanted to, but that's optional. So, oh, and also you will also need 8 millimeter safety eyes, or if you wanted to embroider eyes on, you could do that too. So what else I have here too is, and I'll link these down in the bio, oh gosh, it's been a late night. I will link these down in the description box if you want to make a keychain out of it. I do have a couple made with like a little keychain. So if you'd like to do that, I will link those down in the description box. But let's get started. Okay, so I just wanted to say I am not going to be going over like how to do any of the stitches in this. So if you need to learn how to do any of them, you can probably find a tutorial here on YouTube or something like that. So I just wanted to say that too. So let's get started. To get started, we are going to start with a magic ring. So we're doing that, and there is our ring. And then in that magic ring, we are going to do 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 6. Pull that ring tight. And now for round 2, we are going to increase in each stitch. So there'll be 6 increases. And we are going to put the stitch marker in the first stitch of each round. So increase, okay, for round 3, we are going to do 1 single crochet, and then an increase. And we are going to do that all the way around, so 6 times. Okay, that should give us 18 stitches around. So for rounds 4 through 7, we are going to do just 1 single crochet around. So I will probably speed up this. So altogether, I believe that's 4 rounds of single crochets in each stitch. Okay, so I actually did the rest of those rounds off camera. So we have the first 7 rounds here. So this round is going to be a little different. We are going to single crochet 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we are going to do a bobble stitch. So the way I like to do it is I like to yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert back into the stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert in the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2, and sometimes this does get a little tight. There's 4. I like to do until there's 5 loops on the hook. So there's 5 loops on the hook there. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yarn over, pull through all 5. And then I like to just go into the next stitch. So then we are going to single crochet 6, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we're going to single crochet 5. I am so sorry. And then we are going to do another bobble stitch. One more. And then we are going to single crochet 5 to finish off this round, which is round 8. Okay. So those little bobble stitches make these cute little arms on the ghost. So cute. So for rounds 9 and 10, so for the next 2 rounds, we are just going to be single crocheting around, and you should have 18 stitches in the round. So I will probably speed these up for you. Okay, so at this time I like to place the safety eyes, so I'm going to get those. And like I said, these are just 8mm safety eyes. And then I think I forgot to mention in the beginning that you will need polyfill stuffing too to stuff your little ghost. So just so that you know that too. Sorry that I didn't mention that before. So we are going to place the safety eyes. So I like to go with the little arms facing me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds down. And I like to put them like almost in line with the arms. So it's between rounds 5 and 6. It's like almost a little bit inwards. Well, you know what? Let me see. Why is that happening with that safety eye? There we go. Sometimes I like to play around with it and see. Oh no, I definitely like it in a stitch. Okay. So put that one there, and about 3 to 4 stitches in between them. I think it's 1, 2, 3 stitches in between them. I place the other eye. So once you get those in a spot that you like, just pop the backs on. There's our little ghosty with his eyes now. And so now we can continue. Now this next round is the round to make like the little skirt thing around the bottom. So we are going to be working in the front loops only of round 10. Even though this is round 11. Sorry if that was just confusing. But for round 11, we're going to work in the front loops only. So sometimes people may want to put a stitch marker in this first stitch, like in the back loop, so that you can find it for when we go to work in that afterwards. I am going to do that just for the sake of the video. Usually I can find that back stitch or back loop pretty well. But for this round, we are going to do a slip stitch into that first stitch. Like I said, in the front loop only. And then in the next stitch, we are going to do a single crochet, 2 half double crochets, all in the same stitch, and another single crochet, all in that same stitch. And it gives you like this little rounded effect there. Next stitch, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to slip stitch in that first stitch. The following stitch, we're going to single crochet, 2 half double crochets, and a single crochet, all in that same stitch. Next stitch, we're going to slip stitch. Next stitch after that, single crochet, 2 half double crochets in that same stitch, and a single crochet, all in that same stitch. Slip stitch in the next stitch, single crochet, 2 half doubles, and a single crochet. You are going to repeat that all the way around in this round. And like I said, just remember, in the front loops only. Okay, so my stitch marker fell out of that back loop stitch, but which is okay. That's what I get for not, you know, closing the stitch marker. So we are now going to work into, so this is round 12. So for round 12, we are now going to work into the back loops of what was round 10. So we are going to do, in that back loop, 1 single crochet, and this is going to be a decrease round. So 1 single crochet and a decrease, 1 single crochet and a decrease. Now on this, I'm not doing the invisible decrease because I feel like it's easier to do just like a regular decrease. I mean, you could do like an invisible decrease, but it's already like just in one loop anyway. So 1 single crochet, 1 decrease, 1 single crochet, 1 decrease. And we're doing that all the way around. Decrease. So that should give us 12 stitches at the end of that round. So now we are going to, as I turn away from the camera, we are going to stuff our little ghost. So you can stuff it as firm as you want. I like to stuff them pretty firm. I mean, not too firm that your stitches are popping, you know what I mean? It's popping out of the stitches, but firm enough that it shapes your little guy. Okay, so there he is stuffed. And we are going to continue to round 13, which is also a decrease round. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 stitches. So now I am going to do an invisible decrease. And we are going to repeat that all the way around. So it will be 6 decreases. You can take your stitch marker out. We don't need it anymore. We are going to fasten off, leaving a little tail. And then we are going to take our darning needle and using the front loops, this is how I like to close up my products. So we are just going to sew that hole up at the bottom. Pull that shut. I like to, there's always a little bit of a gap there. For me at least, I like to kind of sew that shut, and then I go and I make a knot just to kind of secure it. And then we are going to weave in our ends. So I like to weave it in a couple times. We're gonna cut that tail. Okay, there's the little ghost, and then we are going to take a small amount of the pink crochet thread, put it on our darning needle, and this is optional if you want to add blush or not, or a face or a mouth. I mean, you can just keep the little ghosty the way that he is, or however you want to do it, but I like to put a little bit of blush. So I'm going to go right below that eye, like a stitch over, and I like to take it over a couple times to border a little bit of blush on there. And I like to go to the other eye. That might be over a little bit too much. And I like to do the same thing. I go over twice just to make it a little more pronounced, I guess. Okay, so there's some blush on our little ghost. Then go back out. I like to tie a couple little knots. Take those two tails there. Put them on my darning needle. And I like to just weave that in. So it pulls that knot into the little ghost, and then there's the blush. And then we are going to take a little bit of the black crochet thread and embroider the mouth on. And like I said, this is optional. You don't have to embroider a mouth on, or like a little smile, or you don't have to do the blush if you don't want to, but it is cute, I think, and I think it gives it a little more personality. So we're going to take this and we're going to go right below the eyes, in between them. and across about 1.5 stitches maybe. I'm trying to think if that's going to be too far down. Yeah. So I'm going to go up a little bit. This one is just going to have a little smile. I like to pull it down. I hope you guys saw that. Just like that. So, and I do the same thing with this that I did with the pink crochet thread. Tie a couple of knots. Come on, my fingers don't want to work tonight. Put them on here and I weave this through, pulling that knot in to the little ghost. Take my darning needle off. I'm gonna fix this mouth a little bit. Pull that little bit of thread out. There we go. Cut off the ends and push that in, and there we go. Little tiny baby ghost. So like I said before, you can like make these keychains. Now I like to I'm not going to make this one a keychain because I'm actually making this for someone. So you can actually like weave this in. I like to do it as I'm doing it. Like I put it around the stitches on top and then you can attach it to this, and that is super, super cute. So there you have it, a little tiny ghost, and I hope you liked this tutorial. And I know it's like right before, you know, spooky season starts, so I figured I would do like a little mini ghost pattern. I thought that would be cute. So thank you for coming to my channel again, and I hope to see you some other time. Thank you. Bye.